The ring felt heavier than it should have as I stood on the wooden porch, overlooking the quiet shoreline of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. The Atlantic breeze carried the scent of salt and summer flowers, but none of it calmed the storm inside me. I had spent 3 years loving Hannah with every part of my heart, and after surviving enough disappointments to fill a lifetime, I finally believed happiness was standing only one answer away. I smiled nervously and whispered the words I had rehearsed 100 times. Marry me tomorrow. I expected tears, laughter, maybe even joyful disbelief. Instead, she grew silent, looked toward the ocean, and said she would only say yes if I accepted 3 conditions. In that moment, I realized I wasn't just asking for her hand. I was being asked to prove the kind of man I truly was. If you believe kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances still have the power to change lives, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you care about, leave a comment about what love means to you, and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories that remind us why humanity still matters. My name is Nathan, and until that afternoon, I believed love was mostly about finding the right person. Hannah taught me it was about becoming the right person. We met in a small community library where she volunteered every Saturday reading books to children, while helping elderly visitors learn how to use computers. She wasn't the loudest person in the room, nor the one trying to impress anyone. She simply noticed people others overlooked. That quiet kindness drew me toward her long before I realized I had fallen completely in love. Our relationship wasn't perfect. I worked long hours managing a construction company, always chasing promotions and bigger projects. Hannah worked as an elementary school art teacher and believed success was measured by lives touched rather than dollars earned. Sometimes I worried that our different priorities would eventually pull us apart. Yet every disagreement somehow ended with us understanding each other a little better. When I finally gathered enough courage to ask her to marry me immediately, I thought my biggest challenge would be hearing yes or no. Instead, Hannah softly explained her 3 conditions. The first condition was that every Sunday, no matter how busy life became, we would spend the day with family or people who had no family at all. She said, lonely hearts deserved a place at someone's table. The second condition surprised me even more. She wanted us to set aside part of every paycheck, not for vacations or expensive things, but to quietly help strangers whenever we found someone struggling. She never wanted our future children to believe generosity depended on wealth. Then came the third condition, and it struck deeper than anything else. She wanted me to forgive my older brother, Caleb. For 6 years I hadn't spoken to him. A failed business partnership had ended with accusations, anger, and silence. Whether he had truly betrayed me no longer mattered. My bitterness had become part of my identity. Hannah gently admitted she couldn't build a marriage on a foundation where forgiveness had no place. That night I barely slept. The first 2 conditions sounded beautiful, even inspiring. The third felt impossible. Days passed without my answer. I drove to job sites, signed contracts, and smiled at coworkers, but inside I carried a battle no one could see. Eventually, I found myself parked outside Caleb's modest home. My hands trembled as I knocked. When he opened the door, he looked older than I remembered. His hair had turned gray around the edges, and the confidence I once envied had disappeared. Before I could speak, I noticed framed photographs of our late parents on the hallway wall. We had both lost them while refusing to stand in the same room together. Suddenly, the years we had wasted felt unbearably heavy. Neither of us delivered perfect speeches. There were awkward silences, painful memories, and quiet tears neither of us tried to hide. We admitted mistakes, accepted responsibility for our pride, and discovered something neither of us expected. We had both spent years believing the other never cared. When I left his house that evening, my heart felt lighter than it had in years. The following morning, I returned to Hannah. Before I could say anything, she noticed something had changed. I simply handed her a family photograph Caleb had given me, showing the 3 of us as children laughing on a fishing dock. She smiled through tears because she already knew my answer. We didn't get married the next day. Instead, we spent the following weeks inviting Caleb, neighbors, friends, and a few elderly residents from a nearby retirement community to a simple backyard wedding. There were no luxury decorations or extravagant gifts. There were homemade desserts, folding chairs, children running across the grass, and countless genuine smiles. It became less about two people getting married and more about broken lives finding connection again. Years later, every Sunday our dining table remains full. Sometimes relatives come. Sometimes strangers do. Sometimes people leave carrying groceries, encouragement, or simply the comfort of knowing someone cared enough to save them a seat. Before this story comes to its close, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment telling us which of Hannah's 3 conditions touched your heart the most, or share a moment when forgiveness or kindness changed your own life. Your story may encourage someone reading these comments today. Looking back, I often smile at how confident I felt when I asked someone to marry me tomorrow. I thought love needed only a ring and a promise. Hannah showed me that lasting love asks for something greater: open hands, a forgiving heart, and a life willing to make room for others. If this story moved you even a little, please like the video, share it with someone who needs hope today, subscribe for more inspiring stories, and let this reminder stay with you wherever life leads. The strongest marriages are not built by perfect people. They are built by imperfect people who choose kindness, forgiveness, and love again, every single day.